Hi everyone. I'll bet you're looking forward to the new Tony Hawk game coming out. That means only one thing. Jump on a Kickstarter and give us some of your money so we can make yet another Activision game full of happy fun times with horrible peripherals. And it doesn't matter that it's the 20th game in the series, but that's okay. You don't need to know that. That's why we need your money to fund it. If we don't have your money, there's not going to be a Tony Hawk game again. So it just click on that link right there. Buy yourself some more Activision stuff. Have fun. There's Tony Hawk. That's all you have to say to yourself. So that was just a little rant. So basically, to be a little more specific, that's what's happening. They are legitimately asking people to go onto Kickstarter and fund the next Tony Hawk game. I don't know if I'm missing something here, but I was under the impression that said Tony Hawk game was kind of basically the skateboarding equivalent of this and Guitar Hero. Both of those games make truckloads of money and are severely overdone to the point that you should be ashamed of yourself of even thinking about considering to pretend to have a dream about buying one at this point. That was how disgraceful Tony Hawk Ride was, and then they went and made a sequel, which is even funnier. But people bought it is the thing. Good old consumers. I'm gonna tell everyone a story. I was standing in a Target store the other day, and I was playing the 3DS demo kiosk with my friend. We were kind of just drooling over its shininess, although I should mention that it's not shiny anymore. It's the result of many small children oozing bodily fluids onto it and generally just mistreating it horribly. So it's kind of disgusting now, but it is a 3DS and I don't have one and I want to play frequently with it, so that was kind of messed up. But basically, we were standing there and a sales associate walks up and says, "Excuse me, I'm going to need you to move out of your way for a second." So I kind of move over. My friend and I are just standing there waiting to continue our happiness with like the new Super Mario 3D, which is a pretty awesome game, not gonna lie. Two people are behind said sales associate, and they're like they were looking to buy a DS for presumably one of their children, and they're standing there, and so the lady asks, so what do we have here? What are the differences between these? And the sales associate looks down and she kind of like squints at the different tags, and she says, "Well, what we got here is a 3DS and a DS Lite, and then a DSi." And the lady's like, so what are the differences between them? And the sales associate kind of squints a little harder at the different boxes, and she says, "Well, it looks like the DSi has some cameras, and the main difference is going to be the DS Lite is a little more compact than the 3DS. That's pretty much all you're going to get. The difference is as far as the differences go between those." And I'm standing there like, you've got to be kidding me. That's like someone buying a PlayStation and asking, so what's the difference between the PS2 and this PS3 here? Well, the PS2 is just a little smaller. They're pretty much identical. They play the same games and all that. No, that's just horrible. And so I'm starting to say maybe I should say something to maybe intervene and not have some child's Christmas be ruined. But as I'm watching them debate over what color to get, I'm like, oh, they're going to get a red 3DS, because I hadn't seen there were red DS Lites in the case. I'm standing there, and they pick up a red DS Lite, and I'm like, oh, good Lord, no. But I turn around to say something to my friend, I turn back, and they're just walking away. And I'm like, oh, thank goodness, they didn't buy the DS Lite. And then I walk over to look at, like, the area with other video games in it, which happens to be right across from where they sell the video games out of the cases, and I see them purchasing a DS Lite under the assumption that it is a slightly more compact version than a 3DS. So here's the lesson: never trust anyone who works in a retail store, even GameStop, because I'd say I would trust those people less. They don't know anything. And then on top of that, if you are at an age where you are asking for gifts from your parents, make sure to tell them explicitly what you desire, because I think that quite frequently people are just misled by idiots like the lady who was working at this particular store I was I was at, I guess, and it's sad. So there you go. Today's public service announcement. Hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. The gameplay's kind of not that good, but I liked it because it showcased a pretty useless attachment, but I like how it looks. So there you go. Rate, comment, subscribe. Thanks. See what I did there?